Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back here to Camaro's Not Coffee. Now while it might be a cold and rainy day, I have something really exciting lined up. I'm hoping it's going to work, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so you may remember I put those LED halo rings in both my headlights. It was a whole big project. I had 2 videos on it. Well, unfortunately, they have stopped working about 8 to 9, 10 months ago. 10 months ago now. So I have kind of a new idea of how I'm going to approach it. I'm going to show you guys what I do. First, I'm going to jump to a separate video where I'm going to take the bumper off because I want to separate it in case you're just looking to take the bumper off or you're just looking to install these. If you want to do both, you have both options there. So I'm going to jump to that video and I will come right back to you guys when I have that off, and I'll show you everything I'm doing to hook up my LEDs inside of my car now. Yeah, inside my car, not outside like I did before. So inside my car, and we'll get right to that after the other video. And just like that, the bumper is off now, so that has been taken off. Again, check that video out. Now, if you're installing these for the first time, these LED rings in your headlights or something similar, you're going to have to take the bumper off to do so. So now I'll show you guys. Last summer, these are the wires that I had coming out, and this is just, I had to cut it because it fried, essentially. So there's that side, there's this side, and I just took it from here, and I ran it up under, and looped it up through there. I will connect it on that side, so I can access it again if I need to. And same thing on this side, comes up there and around here. Access easier, so this way there'll be a top where I can reach them instead of having to take the whole bumper off again and do this. Now we'll see, what am I going to be connecting it to? Because before I hardwired it to the battery, where we're going to have to go is behind this piece of plastic. Alright, and they'll pop out, and this whole piece comes off. Now if we're looking, I think it's tucked up in there. So I'll pull it out and show you guys what this little box is. So I got the box out, and this is what it looks like. So this is a Bluetooth one. It connects to my phone. It has a power line. So this line here, this double color line, if I can show you, is the power line. This runs to a 12-volt plug, and then it's got 4 plugs over here, 1, 2, 3, which I'm using to power these lights, and one back here, which is actually one of the headlights bulb type things that I bought. I bought 4 of them, only needed 2. So I have one plugged in, and we have one more plug. So this is what we're going to plug our headlights into that are up front right now. So I'm going to test it by running the wires outside the car and see if it works. And here's what I bought to do this with. So this is a 1 to 2. So the power's coming in the 1, and it's splitting to the 2 for the 2 different bulbs, and 1 in each headlight. So that'll be all the way at the front of the car. It comes with these little connectors. And then these 2 8-foot wires will allow me to reach all the way inside the car, and hopefully if it works, I'll run it around through a little spot and we'll run it inside to get to the control box. Okay, so I've lined all my connections up. I'm about to plug it in, but just to show you guys, both of these coming from the LEDs and the headlights already had the prongs on them. So I plugged both of those straight into this piece. I needed to add one of the prong pieces here, so that will plug into here in a moment. Then I follow this 8-foot wire to here. I put a prong piece in there. Oh, and a big key with these, make sure the arrows line up. Otherwise, I don't know if the colors are off or what happens, but make sure those arrows line up because that will ensure it works correctly. And then you follow that inside, and again, the white line is very easy to see here. So I had to put a prong on the end of this. So when I plug these in, the car is on. And yes, look at that. Oh my goodness, they're working again. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so sick. Oh, let me turn the lights off. Oh my goodness. You guys do not know how happy I am right now. I put these in, and I was so excited when it finally worked, because it took like 16 hours to do the whole project. 2 days, a whole weekend. And when they stopped working, I was just like super disappointed, because all the work I'd put into that, it was something real small, but it looks so amazing. Okay, so now that we know the lights work, which I'm very, very excited about, the key to our success to getting this cable inside is going to be a rubber grommet. Here's the driver's side of the car. Headlight, we're going to come over pillar behind the brake line, brake fluid, and it's very difficult to see. Right there, on the right side of the screen, you see that little rubber thing. So that is what we are going to feed this wire through. So we're going to break a hole in it. We're going to feed the wire through, and then we're going to put the silicone stuff around it to make it watertight. Okay, before you watch the next part, I'm going to call a major timeout. This is the grommet that I was taking out, but when I pop it inside the car, it falls behind the carpet. And to get there, Well, you have to take that piece off, and that piece off, and that piece off. And so what I'm here to tell you is don't do that. What I recommend is going up from this side and pushing it out. Alright, so where the grommet came out of is back up in that empty hole, right at the top middle of the screen. So it came out and fell behind the carpet, and so I had to rip all of this out. So the order to take it out, in case you do that, take this side piece off, take this piece off, and then this piece that sits here covering this part, you kind of just got to pull it from the back, and then right here you have to push this way to pop it out of here. It took some force, but it popped out. And then that allowed this piece that was clipped up here, it's blue, to dislodge. So, and then that's what it looks like over here. So that's the blue clip that had to dislodge, and that's the slot that was in. So, highly recommend, do not do what I do. Don't push it from that side. Go in from this side, reach your hand up where I showed you that hole way up there, and push it into the engine bay. Because in the engine bay, it's back up, it's tucked up under here, it will fall out, and it will land in this area. Now, it's also not a bad idea if you can have someone else here to grab that for you so it doesn't just fall. Unfortunately, it will be very difficult to show you this part, but essentially I'm sticking my hand in here, and I'm just pushing. You see I pushed down from the top, and it moved, and it's not focusing, I'm so sorry, but it moved, and I just pushed it, and it just fell out. So now there's just a big hole here. Alright, so now that we got this grommet out, I have just essentially followed this line through, following the windshield washer fluid line, and then I'll take it back up under there is where the grommet will go. So now that I have this out, I'm going to just take the end of my wire, because we see this first 8 feet is going to reach inside the car. So I'm going to take this and kind of see, okay, how big does it have to be to make it fit through here? And now I'm going to take this just a little X-Acto knife, and it looks like it's pretty much just the whole width. So not on my car, but I'm going to just try to very carefully, there we go. And make sure you go the correct way also. The grommet, I don't know if it has to go one way, but this is how it sits on the car with that narrower side on the inside, and this goes in the engine bay. So I'm going to take this little prong out so I don't damage it. Alright, so I made the hole just a little bit bigger. Now be careful not to go past the edges, otherwise it's not going to work anymore. And I'm just going to try to cut out just a very small little circle for the wire to sit in so it's not pushing on it all that much. Alright, and then we have a nice little hole in there, so just push this in through very carefully. And now, you see, the wire fits nicely through our grommet. So I'm just going to pull this a ways, and be careful because this really wants to break because it went a little far to the edge, but it almost had to fit. And now I'm just going to push this grommet into the car. So I'm going to feed this bit of wire in first, and then I'm going to push the grommet just on. It'll just push on, make sure these flaps stay on the outside of the car, and then I can just adjust the wire to the length I need. Alright, so I've been making some progress here. I'll show you guys what I've been up to. So I have taken the wires and started zip tying them. So you see all these things sticking out. We got it zip tied there, and then here is where the connection is. And I put a lot of electrical tape around these connections. So I did the initial connection just to wrap around the center, and then I went from the wire all the way down just to make it more waterproof and make sure it stays together. Come inside the car. So I took the box back up in here, and then this white wire is what will follow. I just tucked it around the edges, and that is to make sure it stays out of the way. That big plastic piece we got to put back on here that we took off. And then there's this odd empty space little plastic area here. I tucked all the extra wire up in there, and then this is coming out, and it'll go around and back up there. Now, the next step I'm going to do is put some silicone on that rubber grommet that we took off. The one that I just about lost. So I'm going to take rubber glove or latex glove, I don't know what this is. Get some silicone on here, and then I'm going to just run my finger around the grommet and the wire from the outside and the inside once I get the outside done. And that's just to waterproof it a little more, and that was solid before. So I want to make sure nothing's going to come in that way, because that's the purpose, is to keep it dry inside. Alright, so what I found works actually much better, at least at this point, is to just pull the grommet out. Once you get everything lined up, then you can pull some of that wear out, and we will just do it. Oh, get it all over. We'll just do it with it out of the car. We'll let it sit for a little bit and somewhat dry, and then we'll push it in. Alright, so before I tidy up the wires on the inside, I want to make sure they're not going to be squished by the panels or get in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that one in first, which goes on that side right there. And then that base piece, which runs right there. And then this piece, which comes right over here. And it'll be a little hard to show you that, so if I run into any difficulty, I will let you know what that is. But I think this first piece here will be the hardest one to get in. It was the hardest one to get out. But I'm just going to kind of slide it in sideways, and I'll let you know if any trouble comes up. And then I will tidy up the inside and show you what I do with that. Okay, so I've gotten everything tidied up, cleaned up in here. I'll show you what I did. So first off, for those pieces I had to put back in, this one went on fairly easy. You had to slide it into the clip that's right under here, and then it just kind of turned in and popped. This is a clip up here, popped in. This piece went on super easy, and then this long piece also goes on super easy, but point of note, this piece and this piece go under the weather stripping. This piece goes over top. I fought with it for about 15 minutes before checking the other side, and learned my lesson because the other side sat on top, and I just wasted a bunch of time. Now, under here, this is back on, so our wet wire is coming out from there, zip tied, and then all that excess is tucked into that empty space, which is perfect. And then the other one runs out, zip tied up here, runs over, zip tied over there, and back up under the carpeting. So that's where it just disappears into the void. And also make sure you put that and that back on. Those are just the hand screw things, but very simple to do that. So that's how I tied that up in there, and it still works. I kept checking them. That's a good point, is keep that, at least the lights on, however you have them plugged in. Keep it plugged in while you're doing the work, or check when you're done, just so you see if it comes out and you need to fix something or you undid something. So you're not all the way done and then you find out, oh, it's not working, so where's the issue? You have no idea. So I'm going to flip back to the other video and put it back together, put the bumper back on and everything, and then I'll come back and show you guys one last time what it looks like when we're done. Alright, so it is raining right now, so in case I'm talking a little louder, that is why. But it is time to fully reveal, with everything back together, the LEDs are back. Yes! Oh my goodness. I'm just very, very happy that they're back. So they're on the cycle mode, so it cycles through a bunch of different colors. Not technically legal to drive like this, so I don't recommend it. But solid colors, it depends on the state you live in, so you gotta look into the law. But I'm so excited that they're back. I mean, it's been, what I say, 10 months now. So the fact that they're back, to be rolling around with some lights, it just gives the car something else to stand out with. So I got the partial wrap with the door handle and the little side pieces over here, and the wing, same thing on the other side, and now I got those LEDs to kind of just add another element. So I'm trying to think what's next appearance-wise on the car, and I think it's going to be more lights, but we'll just have to wait and see. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, please leave them below, and if you want to see the bumper removal, go ahead and check out that other video. It's the last video I posted, so look for that, and yeah, have an awesome rest of your day. Peace.